Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Million Dollar Body Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Nate. And if you're here, it's probably because you're a high performer, a real estate agent, or a business owner that's interested in maximizing your physique, your finances, and your family time through fitness and nutrition, using those as force multipliers in your life. If you're not part of the Facebook group, definitely go to check out n8trainingsystems.com/group, n8trainingsystems.com/group. That's where we stream these podcasts live every Monday. And you can join in, ask questions. There's a ton of cool things happening in the group, as well as some great free resources in case you wanted to check it out. So again, go to n8trainingsystems.com/group. By the way, I put in the 8 there when I was like in 2012, 2011, when I thought I was so clever. Now I spend like 44% of my time being like, no, it's actually an 8. No, like 7, 8. Yeah, like no, that's my email and my address. It's 8. It's an 8 though. So I just sometimes you just paint yourself into a corner, trying to be a little too clever. Anyways, if you're in the group watching us live, just if you have any questions about our to-don't list, our 3 things to definitely start avoiding if you want an amazing life, drop some comments here. I'd love to hear what you're thinking. If you've avoided something in the past, if I'm missing something completely, let me know, okay? Before we get started, one of the things we like to do is give a shout out to the people accomplishing big things in the Million Dollar Body community. And today's shout out goes to James P. Engel. James P. is crushing it right now. He's already dropped 120 plus pounds, and we're looking for about another 40, 50 more. So James P., you're absolutely on fire. Really appreciating seeing your tenacity, showing up every single day, and just getting it done. Because I think that one of the things I admire about you is that it's not necessarily about the tactics. It's about the mindset that started it all off and the desire to kind of just be relentless and get it done regardless of the tactics, whatever is taking place in your life. Because I think that's where it starts, right? Mentally, making that decision. So that's one thing that kind of spurred me to talk about the topic today, which is avoid these 3 things, okay? And since I love swearing, they're all gonna have the word shit in them. Because it's just, it's just fun to say that. So let's dive right in, okay? When I was growing up, I don't know if any of you guys know this, but when I was like up through 6th grade, I was homeschooled. So it's awesome in a lot of ways. And a lot of people are experiencing homeschooling their kids for the first time. What I didn't really get a whole lot of was like that socialization aspect of going to a public school. So I had friends and stuff, but I never really got to, be a part of a crowd, be a part of a bigger entity or whatever else. So when I was turned 11, my parents split up, got a divorce, and I went into middle school in the middle of 6th grade. So January of like 98, 99, I went to middle school for the first time. And I don't know if you've ever been to middle school or not, but middle schoolers are the worst humans in the entire world. And I came in being like parted hair, bowl cut, like rocking my pants nice and high up, belt, shirt tucked in, high white socks, and just like unaware of like how to be cool or what to think about things, or that Abercrombie and Fitch was a brand worth wearing, and what K-Swiss were. So I just didn't know these things, and I got destroyed. Like emotionally, mentally destroyed, just got teased a lot, made fun of, picked on. It's easy. It was an easy target for sure. So I kind of had this really negative view of myself going into like 6th, 7th, 8th grade. And then in high school, I had a couple amazing friends. I had some really cool friends who were just radical dudes, super like just charismatic, friendly, outgoing, inclusive, just funny dudes who could give a shit about what anyone else thought of them because they thought they were rad. They thought they were the coolest guys. And they had this intrinsic belief. So in high school, just kind of borrowing the self-esteem from these other guys, I would start to say, and I remember this very just thinking in my head, like, I'm awesome. I'm awesome. I'm awesome. I'm an awesome person. I'm really cool. And I would say this over and over and over again, and I just believed firmly that I was awesome and I was a cool person. So that brings me my first thing is, number 1, the first thing you need to give up, if you want to have an amazing life, if you want to feel better, have more energy, just generally be in love with the life you have, is give up talking shit. You want to give up talking shit. And first foremost, you got to give up talking shit about yourself, okay? You got to give up talking shit about yourself. And think about this. Like, if this is not something that you would say about someone else, you'd be like, yo, bro, you know what? You suck at tech. You suck at the computer. Hey, you know what? You suck at sales. Hey, you know what? You suck at squats. If you wouldn't say that to someone else, why would you say that to yourself? Why would you put that in the universe, into your own brain? Why would you put that out there and to talk about yourself in that way. So I see this a lot. And here's how it comes across. Tell me if you've ever been there before. I'm not good at sales. I'm not good at marketing. I'm not good at building my business. I love training. I'm just not good at I'm not good at selling, getting new clients. Oh man, I'm not good at running. I've never been a runner. I'm not good at that. I've never been lean. I'm just like, I'm not good at getting lean. And when we say those things, what it does is it starts informing our reality. Okay. And I'm going to get a little woo woo for a second, but it's true. Okay. This stuff is true. And here's why. Basically what happens is if you start saying, I'm not good at blank, what you start doing is start looking around for more places where you can prove to yourself that you're telling the truth. I'm not good at squats. I'm not good at using my phone. Technology's always been hard for me. So if you're not good at those things, you're instantly going to start seeing opportunities to prove yourself right. Look at, I told you I wasn't good at sales, and guess what happened? I sucked at sales again. I sucked at doing squats again. Look, I told everybody. And so we start giving ourselves opportunities to prove ourselves right in this way. The other way that this comes across is you go, oh yeah, no one ever really buys from me. Everyone seems to always choose another person. Everyone always goes with the other real estate agent. And when we start putting these things on other people and saying always or never is really how this comes across most often. Everyone else always or never does a certain thing as it relates to me. We got to catch ourselves in this. Everyone always tries to cut this. I always knock my headphones out when I'm recording a podcast. Hold, please. But I just fired our technical director, and he's out. We got a new one in. So when we start talking about everyone always or never, it starts informing how we see other people. So if I say everyone's always trying to cheat me, everyone's always trying to no one's ever giving me a fair shot. I'm always getting cheated in this way. What we're starting to do is starting to say like, hey, let's look for more opportunities to see where people could potentially be cheating me, shortchanging me, those sorts of things. And when we start putting that out there, we start giving people more opportunities to do those things. And furthermore, we start becoming people who are starting to do that in our own lives. Because if we're always taking the easy way, if we're not being in integrity, you find a $20 bill, you just pocket that, instead of bring it to its owner, you find a wallet or something like that. That starts to be the reality you start seeing more and more of, and how you start training people to interact with you in that capacity. So it's really all about the positive self-talk and keeping yourself from making these big general sweeping accusations of other people or of yourself. So let's say you wanted to drop weight for a long time, but you keep saying, I suck at losing weight. I can never lose weight, that sort of thing. Okay, that may or may not be true. You may suck at losing weight, just the same way that I may suck at keeping my headphones in during podcasts. But it might also be equally as true to say, I'm getting better at learning to lose weight and eat healthy every single day. Both of those things could be equally true, right? But which one serves us? Which one is actually something that we want to continue to promote in our own lives? I'm getting better every single day, or I suck at this shit and I'm terrible and I'm a trash human and I'll never be good at it. Because one of those is leading to a good life and the life we want. And one of them is keeping us locked down, oppressed, and just by our own verbiage, by trapping ourselves in this reality that we're creating by telling ourselves that we can't do something when it's obviously not even that true. So don't stop talking shit, okay? And now I want to go to the next two, okay? So number one, don't talk shit. Don't talk shit about yourself. Don't talk shit about other people. People don't like that. You ever talk shit to someone about, or you ever hear someone talk shit to you about someone else? What, guaranteed that person's talking shit about you to someone else when you leave, because people don't just do that in isolation in a bubble, right? Don't be around people like that. Don't be that person, period, okay? End of story. Stop talking shit. Number two, and these next two, number two and number three, are both really important, but but I see them a lot at night. Okay, these two things happen a lot after 7 p.m. So if you're gonna start to like maybe to take a baby step here, start by checking in on yourself like after 7 p.m. after dinner. Really, really important, because this is gonna make a big difference. So number 2 is stop eating shit. Stop eating shit. Okay, you knew this was coming because I talk a lot about nutrition. But what's shit, right? So if we go to the grocery store and I was like, yo, listen, pick up a bunch of nutritious food, pick up some healthy food. You probably go get a bunch of vegetables, right? Some green stuff. You probably get some fruits in there. You maybe get some bread. I don't know. Like it's got whole wheats in it. Okay, you're probably gonna get some beans. Maybe go get some meat. Maybe it's not red meat, but like we all have an idea of kind of what foods are gonna be nutritious, right? And if I was like, go pick out the unhealthiest shit in this whole grocery store, what would you end up with? Fritos, potato chips. You'd end up with baked goods. You'd end up with candy. And if you didn't put some Dr. Pepper in there or some soda, you're out of your mind, because that's some of the most unhealthy stuff you can put in your body. So stop eating shit. Stop eating those processed foods, especially the processed sugars, right? So the other day, today I had for lunch, I had a snack, and it was a hard-boiled egg that had already been peeled, and it came in a bag. I got it at Trader Joe's. And that's processed, right? There's no eggs don't come hard boiled and they don't come peeled. It's been processed. But so I don't want to just say, hey, don't eat any processed foods, because there's a lot of great processed foods. You go to Trader Joe's or Sprouts and eat super healthy and eat nutritious, and like frozen chopped like broccoli that gets flash frozen after it gets picked. That stuff's pretty healthy. It's honestly can be more healthy than the stuff that comes right on the shelves, because it gets flash frozen, so all the nutrient density is still in there. Sometimes with like a long supply chain, if you're getting your food like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even later, like after it gets picked, the nutritional density is kind of decreased over time. So this flash frozen stuff can be a great option. So what I'm talking about here is processed shit, okay? Processed sugars. So I'm talking about candy. You don't need to eat candy. You're an adult. You don't need to eat candy anymore. Stop. You want to have a healthy life. You want to have good energy. You want to look and feel good. Don't eat candy. It's embarrassing I have to say this. Number 2, don't drink sugar. Don't drink any soda. And I'm going to include this to juices too, because juices are a main offender. If you're drinking high sugar, high caloric beverages, like even orange juice, cranberry juice, apple juice, things like that, even those things that come in like the naked juices, if you look at the back of them, tons and tons and tons of refined sugars in there. And yeah, it comes from fruit, but the fiber's been pulled out. It's processed. It's highly processed refined sugars. Sorry. So no sugar, no sugars, no drinking your calories, no juices, no candy. And I'm going to throw myself under the bus here. No baked goods. Come on, man. The only people who need to be eating high, refined sugars like that are people who are bulking a lot, who have just had a big workout and they're having their cheat meal. And if you're not bulking, just finished a leg day and having your cheat meal at the moment, you don't need to eat those things. Okay. So if it's got more than 5-6 grams of sugar in there, pretty much you can just leave that to the wayside. So stop eating shit, okay? So number 1, stop talking shit. Number 2, stop eating shit, okay? Because every 7 years, our body is basically made up of brand new materials based off of what we've been putting into it ahead of time. So our skin, hair, nails, those cells turn over really, really rapidly. But a lot of the deeper cells, the organ cells, things like that, those are repaired once every couple of years, months. The oldest cell in your body is only 7 years old. So you're the result of your last 7,249 meals or whatever it is if you're eating 2 meals a day. So your body is the physical manifestation of those meals. So if you're I'm made of hot dogs and soda pop, well then you're probably going to feel like shit, because all those things are just inflammation, cancer causing, non-serving, no higher purpose to them, just very base level, I'm just going to satisfy this carnal urge right now. I just need to have that sugar. I can't put it down. And that doesn't give us the life that we're looking for. There's a lot of reasons for that that we don't need to go into right now. But you get it. You get it. Don't eat shit. Okay. And number three, stop watching shit. Stop watching shit. Okay. And when we're talking about garbage in, garbage out, in terms of nutrition, a lot can be said to the same extent of what we watch on TV, what we the kind of stuff we're putting into our mind on social media and this sort of thing. So I have a challenge at the end of this for you. Basically, I don't know if you follow how like, the news works or how YouTube makes its revenue or any of those of these things. But basically what happens on like YouTube gets paid for every ad that you watch. And so the more you watch, the more ad revenue YouTube makes off of you. The news is the same way. So you can just substitute YouTube for Fox, for CNN. Okay, so the more you watch, the more they make. The higher their numbers are, the more money they're making. So how do they keep you engaged on these platforms? It's the best way. It's been shown scientifically by these massive, like insane algorithms and AIs that they put in place, is that things that cause a fear reaction or cause an anger reaction, those things keep you around, okay? So YouTube has a slightly more complicated one where it's actually going to start showing you recommended videos based off of like, so if this is your interest, you like parkour and Himalayan drums, great. It's going to show you things based on your interest, but also a slightly larger pool of interest. So for example, if someone is anti-vaccinations, they believe 9/11 was a hoax, they are so on the moon landing, what YouTube is going to start doing is start showing them a lot more QAnon-based, like conspiracy theory videos, that sort of thing, that's going to keep them interested, keep them activated on the channel, regardless of the trustworthiness of the source, regardless of the truth of the issue, regardless of any facts or anything else like that, because the AIs, the things that are giving you new recommended content to watch on YouTube, on the social media devices, they don't care about truth. They're not programmed for truth. They're programmed for views, right? So we've taken one of the arguably most intelligent, powerful AIs in the entire world. We pointed it back at our brains and said, hey, get us to stay on this channel longer, okay? And that's what I'm doing right now with you. Stay on this podcast and listen to the whole thing. So we are being manipulated every single day by the stuff that we're seeing. So if you get your news from Fox and you're seeing all this stuff about hate and whatever's happening in politics, and this is the most important election of your entire life, you're being manipulated. If you're watching CNN, you're like, this guy, and he said this, and this is what they're saying over here, and then the protesters and this, you're being manipulated, okay? You're being manipulated. And it's because none of these places have your best interests in mind. None of these media outlets, social media, has your mental health in mind. When you go to get an email from someone, what you see is all this text, right? And then at the very bottom, it's like, unsubscribe. They don't give a shit about you. They want you they want your eyeballs, they want your ad revenue, and that's about it. They want you're just a cog in the machine at this point. So you have to do what you need to do to protect yourself from these outlets and these sources of media, to keep yourself safe mentally. So avoiding these caustic, virulent, just anger-inducing, that when you start feeling that feeling of outrage just kind of bubbling up, check yourself. Where's this coming from? Why are you feeling it? Is this thing that they're showing you on social media, on YouTube, on Fox, is it really worth you getting angry over? Can you fix it? Can you change it? Are you just going to go to bed angry now and vent at your significant other? Because that's not healthy. That's there's a lot of reasons why it's not healthy, but just real quickly, the stress response spikes your cortisol level. The more cortisol level you have, the easier it is to store belly fat. The more belly fat you have, the more inflammation you have. The more inflammation you have, the higher chance of you getting cancer and dying. So did I just tell you that watching the news is going to kill you? Maybe, but we have to protect ourselves. And this goes for social media too. Is there an account that you follow that just makes you mad? Someone that you knew in high school, you're just this guy, hate him. Or is there someone you compare yourself to? I just wish I could have abs like so-and-so. I wish I could have abs like Davey Fisher. That's me right here. Or is it pornography? Guys, is that healthy for your mental state? Is that healthy for your relationships, with your partner? Maybe ladies too. I don't know. I'm just speaking to the guys here. But what are those sources of media that you're ingesting that are not serving you, that don't have your best interest in mind, that don't give a shit about you, and instead really want to just feed you more content in order to pursue their own end game? And I want you to be cautious of that. Okay. So whether that's Fox, whether that's CNN, whether that's a channel on YouTube, whether that's an Instagram celebrity, I want you to be cautious of that. And I want you to be cognizant of it because those things can really make a big difference in your life. Yeah, I started a little bit from health and fitness right now, and maybe now I'm an influencer, but I think that this is important and I don't think it gets talked about enough. So here's my challenge to you. Go on Instagram right now, go on YouTube, go on the media right now, whatever. I want you to give up one or two things that are bringing you down. So unfollow 2 accounts. Stop watching Fox News. Stop checking in on that specific YouTube channel that just makes you outraged as soon as when you're watching it. Give up one of those things for the next 4 weeks. See how your life changes. I think in general, give up talking shit. Give up talking shit about yourself. Give up talking shit about other people because it's mostly not true and it doesn't serve you. Give up eating shit because why do you need to eat processed sugars anyways? Why do you need to drink soda? It doesn't serve you. And give up watching shit. Give up that account that makes you jealous, feel any kind of way. Give up the news that make you feel outraged. Give up that YouTube channel that just makes you just irked when you watch it, and watch how your life changes. So that's the 3 things that I want that go on the no list, the to don't list, right? To don't eat sugar and processed foods. To don't watch the news. I try to stay informed, but the news has no place in that, especially regular news on basic cable. And then to don't talk shit about yourself. Don't talk shit about yourself. You're awesome, and you can become more and more and more awesome as you tell yourself those things and as you push yourself to start interacting with your own brain in that way by reframing. You'd be like, oh, I suck at squat. Hold up. I'm getting better at squats. Every time I try squat, I get better at it because that's probably more true anyways. So reframe how you speak to yourself and how you speak about others. Just stop eating processed sugars. You don't need that shit. And then give up 1 or 2 accounts, social media or news outlets, because it's going to make your life a lot better, especially over the next 4 weeks. Thank you guys so much for checking out the podcast. I hope this was helpful for you. I know we took a little bit of a turn from our regular scheduled fitness content, which we'll return to shortly. But I think that this is something that we could all benefit from. And I'd love to hear, what did you get out of this episode? Is there anything that I missed here? Is there something that you've given up that you thought made a big impact on your life? I'd love to hear below if you get a chance to check in with us here. Otherwise, have a great rest of your week. We'll talk to you very soon.